reshoot it with
I definitely
somebody.
Reshoot the whole movie.
I definitely said
No, they only need to do Ezra. Only his stuff.
I said they're gonna all the money in the world it, and Dana was like, I was like, you know what that means, right? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, what does it mean? Like,
you tested her.
I could tell she didn't know what it meant. She's
like, poor
they're
Dana.
Just gonna have access to as much money as they need to make it work with a new actor. And I was like,
well, kind of. That's right.
No. That's the logical answer.
R.I.P. the Flash movie. Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Which version of the Flash movie? Then, like the 18th version now.
It's the multiverse, man. It doesn't matter. Just do whatever you want. Just explain it however you want.
You're right.
Maybe that's the death of the Snyderverse, is that movie being killed. They should. Actually, I'm going to say it. They should HBO Max that movie and put Blue Beetle in theaters.
100%.
They should put both of them in theaters. Blue Beetle's already in theaters, though.
Beetle's HBO Max. That and Batgirl.
No, Blue Beetle was...
Blue Beetle got moved.
Blue Beetle's moved.
It got bumped to
Move
theatrical.
Batgirl to theaters, then.
Put all of them in theaters.
Yes.
I'll still see it in theaters.
Every movie deserves to be in a theater.
Not true.
Not true.
I tried.
Oh, 8 hours.
Morbius did not deserve being in a theater.
Today, Warner Bros. Debating releasing Batgirl in movie theaters. Hey, look at that.
Gotta fill that void if the Flash goes away.
At least, like, a limited run. Just, like, hey, this weekend, go see Batgirl in theaters, or go wait for HBO Max. Like, we'll make a little bit more money. I'll go see it.
Yeah, not much, but...
All of us idiot nerds will venture out to see it, so you can either try to enjoy it or hate it, because people like to hate watch stuff now.
We'll talk a little bit later in news about some of that stuff, but yeah, I think with the Warner Brothers Discovery merger, like,
they should put
they're
it
gonna
on
shake some
Discovery.
things up. Yeah,
Instead of HBO.
Not HBO, Discovery. That would be funny. Well, what's up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome to another live episode. We're at like 247 now. We're almost at 250.
Dang, we're old.
Something fun for 250.
Yeah, why not?
Like on the show or our own party?
Ooh.
Both.
Okay.
And we could just... No, we should do...
We should go to a Chili's and just live stream from a Chili's as we eat.
Of all the restaurants you'd live stream from is Chili's?
I don't know.
Go to like
First one that came to mind.
Go to somewhere cool.
Kobe's Steakhouse.
Ooh.
Instead of watching us, they can watch our
Watch our food get made.
Dude, they have way more talent at what they're doing than what we're freaking doing here.
Like the old dudes with our phones.
Look at the onion volcano,
I'm gonna take my iPad. Just hold up my iPad like, is this how I'm supposed to do it?
Dude, did you guys see the meme of the guy at a concert with a Nintendo DS? Like,
no, that sounds amazing though.
That's peak 2000 and
I love it.
fan.
Oh my gosh.
Respect.
Dude, the Nintendo DS was so cool.
Dude, Nintendo always makes cool consoles. They're just always super underpowered.
Freaking love that thing.
I've only ever had handheld Nintendo consoles. I've had the Game Boy Color.
The disrespect of the Switch there. I love it.
And the Nintendo Switch.
That is a home console, if you ask me.
It's something.
Yeah.
It takes both and makes it into one.
Bitch, but
Is that why they call it that?
who made this up?
What's up?
We're a mess.
Ben Chosai from Spain.
Whoa.
In the chat.
Yo.
Spain.
Welcome to the show.
What time is it where you are?
It's too late.
It's too late here.
or early.
I'm tired here.
It's probably too early. You're starting off your day right with the What the Fanboy crew.
What is it, like an 8-hour difference?
We should get into our
Yeah, we gotta
recaps. Luke, you want to start?
I'll start. Yeah.
You should just say no. Like one just be like, no.
I can't now.
No, I know. I think I'll have someone else do that.
First thing I want to say is I went to the zoo this weekend. I love the zoo.
You remember still?
Yeah.
Nice.
highly, highly recommend. This is, I guess, kind of just for people in our area, or if they have something similar at your zoo. But our zoo, the Sedgwick County Zoo, added Stingray Cove, and you have to pay a little bit more. But you can go in and you can touch stingrays and sharks. For members, it's $4.
Oh, okay.
Or you can also buy food and like have those stingrays come up and just take food off your hand. They were out of food when we went, so we didn't get to do that. But
sounds awesome.
it was awesome. It's weird to like you see the stingray or the shark, and you're like about to touch it, and you think you know how it's gonna feel, and it's just never that. Like you touch the stingray, and it's like this wet, fleshy thing.
Sharks feel like sandpaper.
And then you touch the shark, and it's like touching a rock.
Yeah, they feel like sandpaper.
And then you go like to the other stingray. There's 2 types of stingrays, and they're the more round one. And they're hard as well. And it's like, man, what are the?
It's crazy.
I want to know everything about them. And then there's like little babies of the cow nose ones, which are the more triangular ones. So cute, swimming around. And then of course there's always that kid that's just like smacks them.
Don't punch stingrays.
It's like, don't ruin a good thing for us.
Yo,
please respect the animals.
Oh my.
But yeah, it was awesome. I want to do it again. Highly recommend. Fun for all ages. Control your children. But more what I'm actually here to talk about. I'm the only one that's caught up on Moon Knight, so I guess I'll just review the latest episode of Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's good.
Which was episode 4, The Tomb. I like this show, but I also struggle with this show, and I don't really know why. I think the main reason is I think they have a character issue with dealing with Mark and Steven. And conveying that across, I just don't really care. I feel like they're just forcing me to care. And maybe it's probably Marvel fatigue too. And all that. But it's still a good show. I enjoy it. I think episode 4 is the best one. It felt more heavily focused on Layla, who I think is a great character. Mm-hmm. We learn more about her, and there is a big cliffhanger at the end, which was pretty intriguing. Yeah, the show's been pretty good so far.
Penultimate this week.
Yeah, there's 2 more.
Yeah. Pretty cool. This episode's going to be crazy, I bet.
Episode 4 had some pretty crazy stuff in it. Mainly, like, the last 5 minutes. You're just like, what the freaking heck is going on? It's also, there's like I don't know if I can talk about it since you guys haven't seen it, but there's like a trope that they're doing already that's kind of like, I wouldn't have gone this direction yet. He doesn't have his powers.
But,
like, they already took away his powers, and it's a
classic.
It's an extremely common trope in superheroes. It happens all the time. I don't mind they do it.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know if now is the right time. But we'll find out. It all depends on the last 2 episodes.
A good cliffhanger?
Yeah, it was a good cliffhanger.
All right.
The other show that I watched season 4 of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Nice.
This is one of the best shows on Amazon Prime. I get blown away by, like, how well made this show is. Mm-hmm. And I get distracted a lot, unfortunately, because I'll just be watching a scene and I'll just all of a sudden be like, they have not cut in forever. These are just people like memorizing lines and acting.
Yeah. And
it's so impressive. Not only that though, but like I feel like a common problem in a lot of things like movies or TV shows that are like, this is about a comedian. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, they got to be funny. They usually aren't. This one is. It's hilarious. And
yeah.
The like arguments and riffs that all the characters have with each other, they're just so funny, and they bounce off each other so well. And shoot, I don't want to mispronounce her last name. It's like Rachel Brosnahan or something.
Zachary Levi's in this.
He was in season 2.
Oh, okay. He's not like a regular.
Yeah, he hasn't been around for a while now. He was a love interest.
Was he any good?
Yeah, he was really good.
I enjoy me some Zachary Levi.
Too. I like what he's in.
He's very tall. Let's see. Rachel Brosnahan, who plays Midge. She's so good. I love Tony Shalhoub. He's hilarious. He also drives me crazy because he's like so self-centered, but I love it. Yeah, he's very tall.
Oh wow.
Nice that.
Yeah, nice.
But I can't wait for season 5. I hope it doesn't take very long to get here. The overall show, I think, is a booyah. I'd say season 4 is fanboy worthy.
Okay.
Yeah, if that makes sense. Like, season 4 wasn't as good as
some of the others.
Like, it's not the best season, but
Sure.
it's still fantastic.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Season 1, I think, is the best season.
I'll just watch one and be done then.
No!
End on a high note.
No! Don't do that. Watch it all. But yeah, the show is amazing. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I started a show that I think you guys will also talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after
Yeah.
here in a minute. So you got a new
I got a hoodie
from the
that
store.
You can purchase as well. Has our nifty logo on it. It's pretty warm. It's hard to tell because it's also like warm outside.
Yeah. The fun colors are finally in stock just in time for it to be summer.
That's right.
Spring, summer.
I've been waiting. I waited all winter for this to be in stock. And finally it was. I jumped on it. It's super soft.
Yeah, it feels nice.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy it. I have a it's one of my sweatshirts that I don't mind putting on like without a shirt on underneath it because it's so soft. It's just nice and comfy.
Feels good on your nipples.
Sure, Luke. Feels real good on those. Tyler, let's move on from this chaos.
Oh, you don't want to talk about your nipples?
Well, I guess we're talking about nipples now.
Anywho's, I went to Denver last weekend. Left Thursday, came back Saturday. I went out there for a concert I bought tickets to in February of 2020. The show was canceled twice due to COVID. And then this time around, one of the DJs for the headlining act couldn't be there because he has hearing loss in an ear from playing too many live shows. Loud. So
sad day.
They were down a person, but I got to see Galantis at Red Rocks.
Nice.
Booyah experience. The weather was really nice for us. We were really lucky. It was 80 degrees all day long. Got down in the 50s. There was some major wind, which really sucked, but ultimately, by the time the headliner went on, it was super nice out. The wind had kind of died down.
I think that wind made it all the way here.
Yeah.
It was wild. And then Brendan went Sunday to another show at Red Rocks, and it was snowing. So it's like it was an insane weekend of weather.
I'm 100% convinced that this concert was in Kansas.
It was weird, man. It
just sounds like you're describing Kansas.
Yeah, it was.
Tyler actually just bought a VR headset and went into his backyard.
That's right. I stood in the backyard on the little patio and watched it. No, watching Galantis at Red Rocks is a booyah experience.
Nice.
Saw Blau with them as well in Matzo. It was a lot of fun. Got to do a little hike, about 2.2 miles, about 600 feet of gain. Elevation-wise, it was a good time. Got to see Brendan, of course, not to discredit that. Always good to hang out with him.
Got to see Brendan, which sucked to know.
And then I spent a little bit more time playing some Deathloop.
Yeah.
And I don't want to... I'll do very quick impressions. I think this game is on track to be a booyah. It's one of the more original games I've played in a really long time from a story standpoint. It's just a ton of fun. It's funny. The gunplay at first I thought felt a little wonky, but now I'm kind of used to it. I think it's just I don't like playing shooters on PlayStation controllers. I don't like the parallel sticks.
Yeah.
It's weird. But now that I'm starting to get used to it, I get to run around with superpowers and cool guns and kill people and relive the same loop over and over again. My first run, I killed 2 of the 8 bosses. accident. That's kinda cool. I threw a grenade and killed one, and it killed me too. But it still gave me credit for killing the second one. So I was like, oh. Woo.
Nice. So once you eliminate a boss in that game, do you have to do it again, or are they out?
If you don't complete the loop, you do it again.
Okay.
So the whole object of the game is to kill these 8 bosses to break the loop that you're in.
Right.
You're in this loop where your life kind of sucks. You're trapped in a loop with another assassin.
Right.
So there's 2 assassins. Both have, eating motives. But basically, as you learn more, like, you save your notes. So before you start the run, you're reading through your notes and you're saying, okay, I can get these 2 in the same place at this time. This person's doing this at this time. So if I change this one thing in the morning hour, because there's 4 time periods that you play in. You play morning, noon, afternoon, and then evening. And basically, things you do in the morning impact what happens later. So, like,
that's neat.
You can kind of go around and, like, booby trap things so you'll kill someone. So basically, you're trying to kill all 8 to break the loop. Super cool. Works really, really well. Takes a little bit of time to kind of get into the game. But once you're in it, you're like, oh man, I'm in this. I need to play it.
Yeah.
This is going to make you laugh. The more I play of it, the more I want Rian Johnson to write a movie version of it. Because I think he would do a really good job, because it's this murder mystery-esque thing.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I highly recommend it. I know this will be on Game Pass at some point. And when it gets there, I really, really recommend everybody try this out. It's seriously just...
And it is available for PlayStation and PC, or just PlayStation?
I think it's just PlayStation right now.
Okay.
Because it was announced as a PS5 exclusive prior to the acquisition.
Right.
But no, it's super cool. I only got it on PlayStation because I was doing the buy 2 get 1 free thing at Target, and none of the other games I wanted were eligible. And so I finally was just like, fine, I'll take Deathloop. So it just kind of worked out. And then I also played some Halo. I'm trying to complete it's on PC as well, according to JT.
JT in the chat, saving the day.
I played some Halo as well. I'm trying to finish my battle pass. I think I have like 5 levels left.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're close.
I got the cool samurai helmet from the event.
Yeah.
With the horns, cool looking mouth
piece. Yep.
I have all that now. Now it's just finish this battle pass up this week, hopefully, and then next week is
Season 2.
And then last thing I did, and Brett's going to cover this as well, I watched the first 2 episodes of Outer Range on Prime.
Yeah. We'll talk about Outer Range here in a minute. First off, over in the chat, JT also asked if any of us have watched all the Old Knives on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix.
Prime. I've not watched it yet, but it's been recommended to me.
Yeah, I saw the trailer and I thought it looked intriguing, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah,
so
I've not gotten to it.
It's on my list, JT. Don't worry. I did watch a couple new things. I did finally get around to go over to the theater and watch The Secrets of Dumbledore. It's a solid step up from Crimes of Grindelwald. It's still not what I want a Fantastic Beasts movie to be. I think it's trying to be 2 movies. I think they said, we're not going to make 5 movies, we're going to make 4 movies. But we need to make but we need to make this one end in a logical place if we need to end it after 3. So I think it actually does the job of 3 and 4 in 1, but leaves it at a place where you could just walk away from the series at this point. I don't know. Overall, I just think it tries to do too much, and it doesn't give me what I really want in the main character of Newt. Newt is by far the best part of this series, with Jude Law being like right behind him. Like Dumbledore, he is fantastic, and I hate that he takes away from Newt, but he's still fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'll give this a Matthew McConaughey. I don't think it's quite fanboy worthy for me, but I still enjoyed myself. I think I texted you that it was like, yeah it's fine, but I still had fun. I had more fun watching this than Crimes of Grindelwald.
Dude, it's honestly, I think Dumbledore Secrets of Dumbledore. Secrets of Dumbledore is worth it just so you can see Magic Bambi. So freaking cute. I love that little Bambi, man.
The other thing I watched this week was a limited series on HBO Max called The Invisible Pilot. This is about a guy who's
flying the plane.
Faked his own suicide, and then became like the world's biggest drug smuggler in the 1970s and 80s. It's a fascinating story. I think it could have been probably like 1-2 hour movie. I think it drags, but like they try and do a lot because the story does naturally tie in to things like the Iran-Contra.
Is this the same story as that Tom Cruise movie?
It might be.
American Made?
Yeah.
American Made? It might be.
Did you ever see that?
No, I never saw it.
That's a good movie.
Wasn't that a MoviePass movie?
Is that when you guys saw it?
No. I saw it with MoviePass.
I think it probably is. It probably is.
What was the dude's name?
Gary Fitzner? I think.
Sounds like a fake name.
No, it's different.
It may be different.
Dude, it was Doug Liman.
Maybe inspired by or something.
I thought he was still stuck making.
But yeah, a really interesting true story. Kind of told from the perspective of his family, and maybe a little long, but I'll give it to Matthew McConaughey. I thought it was fairly interesting.
That's why it's good.
The other thing I did that you guys didn't do is watch Halo episode 5.
I mean, no, I didn't watch it.
It's still running?
It's not a dead game yet. I mean, not a dead series yet.
Dead maybe both fronts.
I mean, they do have a battle royale coming out, so
as
close as you can get to dead.
I think episode 5 is probably what the producers were hoping like the gamers would like stick around for. Like it's got the most action out of, other than maybe the first episode might have slightly more action. I think this is better action than
I would agree.
The second episode.
I watched the action scene.
Or the first episode. Yeah.
It was much better than the first one. I still think they have a lot to do to bring it up to par with a lot of other shows that have the same budget.
Yeah. For what it's, I don't know. I'm enjoying it for what it is. I think kind of what I said the other day was I don't expect much from this show at this point, and that's okay, and I'm just kind of enjoying it as it goes. So I do think some of the stuff with Cortana is really good. Jen Taylor's fantastic. I think the storyline with Kai and the Spartans is going to be more and more interesting. You kind of mentioned, Luke, how you kind of feel like they're all very flat in their acting. That's not inaccurate. Part of that's, I think, intentional. But we'll have to see if they get better as they remove their
pellets out of their booty.
Pellets or whatever, yeah.
They're in their butts?
No.
You would think they are because they all get completely butt freaking naked to take out the
This
things.
was the first episode with like no
cheeks?
Yeah, of any kind.
Was there cheeks in the first episode? Episode 2 was
no, that wasn't in the first episode.
Female Covenant Lady.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
Was Cheeks. Episode 3 was Master Cheeks. Episode 4 was Mrs. Master Cheeks. Miss Master Cheeks.
And the main bad guy from Quan's storyline. Yeah, you forgot that there's even that side story with the Rebel and Soren, the other defected Spartan.
Oh, the dude who took over Madrigal, and he's the bad guy in literally every single thing he's ever been in because his voice can only suit a villain.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he gets naked too.
Does he?
Yeah.
So, Evil Cheeks.
Evil Cheeks.
So many cheeks.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's fine. I don't think it's anything special, unfortunately.
What's it tracking for? Streaming?
Probably. At
Thank
this
you
point.
for your service in watching that. Maybe I'll finish it at some.
Maybe. The one other thing I did was Tyler just mouthed, "I'm not gonna finish it."
No, it's probably not.
Is the What the Fanboy website got a little bit of a fresh coat of paint? Tried to make the homepage a little more quicker, and so you could see everything that's going on. Kind of what's new. It's right there, with links to all of the stuff. So.
Bathtub super duper awkward evil cheeks.
Yeah, so back to Halo, Lepke in the chat is saying that in the scene that the evil cheeks guy is evil cheeks, he's in the bathtub, which is one of those like giant bathtubs that takes up an entire room.
That seems like a good way to spend $10 million.
Yeah. So but yeah, if you go over to whatthefanboy.com, you can see that website.
Probs.
Website refresh.
Probably a blue kitty pool.
So that was kind of fun to do this week too. The last thing I did, which all these guys did, is watch Outer Range. So let's give some impressions on that. Who wants to go first? We've watched 2 episodes. I've actually watched 3, but we'll just kind of give our impressions of the opening episodes.
I can go first.
Yeah.
So I kind of texted these guys this morning really, and just said it's a Western with a little bit of sci-fi sprinkled in, and I think that's a pretty apt description of what this show is. I think it's like Dana was asking me like, oh, what is it? What would you compare it to? I don't really know what I would compare it to. I guess the closest thing I could say is maybe, and this is it's kind of a stretch, but Stranger Things is kind of similar in a weird sort of connected way.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, it stars Josh Brolin. Very well acted. Super intriguing. There's plenty of like plot lines going through it that you're kind of curious about. And I think my favorite thing about this show is just that there's not a plot line going on that I'm not interested in.
Yeah.
I think all of the plot lines are pretty well set up. The whole like all the things are the land battle, the dad. Like there's just so many things. Who is our main character? Like there's just so many questions.
Who's the real bad guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What side are all of these kind of third parties gonna fall into? Because episode 3 kind of gets into that. Like,
who's the bad guy?
No, where are the different secondary characters falling into? In terms of like alliances, and not like alliances. It's not like they're taking up wearing hats or carrying flags around, but these people, this person seems way more. I'm trying to be very non-spoiler.
Yeah, it's hard to be vague.
This person is kind of going to side with the family, or this cop is kind of maybe going to actually end up being over here. I
also one of the things, and Luke kind of said something. It's nice to see kind of a West inspired thing. I feel like everything we get is just so sci-fi, action heavy,
nostalgia heavy,
or superhero related. Like it's nice to get something like this.
Well, you haven't been watching any of Sam Elliott's things over the last 50 years?
Saw Power of the Dog. He was in that, right? I heard him talking about it a lot.
No, I've not. But no, like it's nice to get something like this. This is a breath of fresh air to me. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy it.
I like how it feels like it's got that Western foundation.
Yeah.
But they're not being super cliche with it.
Right. Everything
about it does feel like it belongs in that world, but there's these sci-fi-esque elements that naturally creep their way in and provide a different kind of mystery that you just don't get with standard Westerns.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm kind of coming from a different angle now for comparison. What it reminds me of is Signs. dragged out into a series, so it can like it's taking its time. It's not a 2-hour movie.
Yeah,
because like there's the family, there was a tragedy, death, disappearance in the family.
Yeah,
which are like reminds me of Mel Gibson's wife in that movie.
Yeah,
it either used to be religious or maybe not, but now they like definitely aren't.
yeah.
Where like maybe the rest of the family kind of is. And then there's just like a little bit of like sci-fi horror like every once in a while.
Yeah.
Whereas like in Signs there'd be there'd be an alien something every once in a while. Whereas like in this, like maybe like it's not that much, which I think it's really surprising that it can hold your attention so well.
Sprinkle in comment.
And it's like we're gonna deal with this family that's dealing with something. And then we're gonna go to this big hole for a bit. And we're not gonna really tell you what's going on with it. We're just gonna keep kind of adding a little extra in just every once in a while.
And we're gonna
make you just wreck your mind because the whole time you're just going, "What's going on? Please tell me." And then they just dash a little bit more, and you're like, "Is it?" No? Yeah, no.
I love that they add things without answering. Especially, like, I think part of some shows' problems is they answer things too quickly, and then it feels like you're, like, racing to the finish line. So in this, it feels like, I mean, at least through 2 episodes, they're not really going to answer anything. They're just going to provide more questions.
No, I think a lot of shows err on the side of, when you say something like that, where they answer things too quickly. It's because there needs to be natural resolution as a story progresses. And you can have resolution without answering
the big question.
And that's what this show does really well.
Yeah.
It gives you those moments of, okay, we took care of that. But now there's this other question of like, okay, well, now what happens?
I think what refreshing, I think, is going to be my overall tweet for this show is like, it's just nice that the show doesn't feel like I'm too dumb to follow what they're going for.
Yeah.
It feels like they're like, hey, we're going to throw a lot of crazy stuff at you. We realize that, but we also know our audience isn't a bunch of idiots. Like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's just super nice. I feel like we get kind of, and this is happening in video games today too, is like
spoon-fed.
Things just, they just spoon-feed you things. It's to be, like, video games get to be too easy, or, shows get to be too predictable. Like, I kind of like this. This is nice.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm glad I chose to watch it.
I think it's so weird that you tweeted that, like, I'm going to be talking about Outer Range.
Yeah, this was not a discussed thing.
Yeah, and then, like, I was finishing Mrs. Maisel's Sunday, and that trailer, because they always have a trailer before each episode on Prime.
Yeah.
And we might talk about this later. And Outer Range was one of the trailers, and I was like, I've never heard of this.
The only reason...
I added it to my watch list, and then Miss Maisel finished, took a little snack break, did some other things, and like, now it's time to start the next one. And I watched the first 2 episodes. I was hooked.
Yeah, I started it Thursday before I left for Denver, because I had seen Brolin. I follow him on Instagram, and he had been kind of talking about, like, hey guys, I'm really glad that you guys are loving Outer Range. And I was like, what is Outer Range? It was like him in a cowboy hat and stuff. And I was like, is this a Western? Rolling in a Western? I love this. I love this. So I like go look it up and watch the trailer, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to watch that. Like, that's right up my alley. And so, lo and behold, I started it Thursday, and I was like,
plus I love getting, like, No Country for Old Men Brolin.
Yeah.
Or like Sicario Brolin, or this Brolin. It's so different than like Thanos Brolin, which is really nice. He's good at doing both.
He's got range.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a really good actor.
Yes, he is. Yes,
Goonies Brolin. Speak Brolin.
All right. Well, I think all of us would recommend that.
Yeah, if you're looking for a new show, Outer Range.
It's out on Prime. The first 4 episodes, as of recording, are out.
Which, are they releasing 2 a week?
I'm not sure how the distribution model is.
I think it was first 2 was the first week, and then this week it looked like they released 2 episodes.
Yeah, could have been.
Because we'll find out on
That'd be dope.
Friday.
I love that. All right, let's go over to trailer reactions. we had a couple. Not a lot, nothing big. The first one that I had was Prehistoric Planet.
I didn't watch the trailer, but I don't need it. I'm going to watch.
It's just like a nature doc type thing.
This is
but with dinosaurs.
Apple TV, 5-part dinosaur.
Who's narrating?
I don't know.
I'll Google it.
Google it.
It's Attenborough.
It's Attenborough.
It's David Attenborough.
Really?
That was the name that came to mind. I was like, wait, is that right? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
As long as he's alive, it will be Attenborough.
It will be Attenborough. Yeah, I thought this. I mean, Apple doesn't seem to have any problem throwing money at things. It looks pretty good.
Dude, if it's on Apple, I trust that it's gonna be.
Knowing that it's almost probably 100% completely CG. Sometimes you're willing to forgive some stuff, but like I think
it looks good though.
I think it looks pretty photorealistic.
Looks better than Halo.
So
sorry, couldn't help myself.
I see. The next so I give this a thumbs up.
Thumbs up, big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up.
Man, dinosaurs. How can you not give it?
I mean, right? That's true. The next trailer that I have down is the Love, Death, and Robots, Volume 3.
Thumbs up.
Most of the trailer felt like reused.
Most of the trailer's The Crown.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They do have a clever from the studio that brought you, and then it's all like the Crown footage, and then all of a sudden this is Love, Death, and Robots.
This super weird psychedelic.
There wasn't a lot
robot animated CG.
There wasn't a lot of new footage in there, but that was okay with me.
Yeah. The episodes are probably going to be like in between 5 and 10 minutes.
Yeah. They're short.
Show as little as you can.
Episodes.
At most, the episodes are like 16 to 18. The longest.
Yeah,
they're pretty
less
short.
than 20 for sure. So that's a thumbs up for me. And then the last trailer I have, Tyler, did you see this today? Apex Legends.
I saw that this came out. I did not
for its new season.
watch it. I saw that the new character was revealed to be Bangalore's brother.
Yes.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Very much a defensive.
He looks like
champion.
The Supergirl TV show's Guardian character.
Oh.
His white armor.
Yeah.
But like way cooler.
He's got some major Destiny Titan vibes with his like shield.
You're just trying to get me to play, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
You just want me to play. Well, I'm not going to do it.
I'm trying to pitch you on this. It's not working.
If I'm going to play another shooter besides Destiny, it should probably be Halo because I still haven't played it.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought for a reveal trailer, I thought it was good. It'll be interesting to see if anything that they're kind of teasing in there inside the trailer will be like a new mode. I heard some rumors going around that there might be more like a survival mode where it's a bigger group of.
It's like from G.I. Joe.
A bigger squad that teams up against a giant monster. So the trailer involves a giant monster coming out of the sea and attacking them.
Speaking of trailers and giant monsters and coming out of the sea.
So they're all doing a Godzilla.
It seems
like it.
I don't understand. Like, I just don't understand battle royales, I guess.
Anywho's, so Warzone announced their Project Monarch.
Yeah.
Event with a cinematic trailer that showed both King Kong and Godzilla roaming their map.
About a year too late for proper crossover synergy.
Kong, and I was like, but this, I thought I was like, this should have happened a while back.
But I like the idea of introducing on these huge maps
something that can kill you.
Something that what are you going to do again? You can't, you just avoid it, right? Like, here's a raging tornado of violence that is King Kong.
Right.
Get out of its way.
Dude, I'm going to get a motorcycle with a sidecar and put Luke in it. I'm going to go kill King Kong.
I'm not downloading a 300 gigabyte game.
It's just one of those things that adds, Battle Royale is all about replayability.
Yep.
Every game is different, and this adds a major twist to it. So
twisty.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
I probably won't download it again, but looks cool.
I'm definitely considering downloading it. It depends how many games I have to delete to make that happen. Because if it's not too many, I'll download it and check out the event.
Time to invest in an SSD.
This is not the game that would make me invest.
I have plenty of room. I have 2 terabytes. Well, total. But I'm not.
Did you buy an extra storage card?
I had it on my old Xbox.
Okay,
it's not like the super fast one.
Yeah, I have an external as well.
Yeah.
It just has like all my old Xbox One games on it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But no,
The trailer was cool.
Yeah.
I haven't even watched the trailer.
Good trailer.
It was pretty cool.
It was neat.
Looks like they flipped the fight from the actual movie trailer.
Yeah.
Flipped the characters like different sides.
So King Kong is jumping out of the water and Godzilla's up there like, I can't swim.
Godzilla still comes out of the
Yeah,
ocean.
he's still coming out of the water. But King Kong's the jumping.
Any other trailers? No?
No.
Okay.
I have none written down. I don't know why I checked.
Well, then let's move on to news. The big one being / weird one that's not really related to us, but we're going to talk about it because it's the hot news, the hot gas, is Elon Musk is buying Twitter. Are we all deleting our Twitter accounts now, or are we all in on this? Let us know in the chat real quick.
I'll keep it if it's free.
Do we like this? Thumbs up if you like this in the chat. Thumbs down if you don't like it, I guess. I think I can run a poll. I've never tried that, though.
Yeah. Dude, I freaking wish. I just...
$44 billion is the price tag.
Here's my opinion on it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I feel like this stuff has just been happening so much now, and it's just another rich dude buying another thing that it's like I don't care.
It's crazy. Like he spent $44 billion on Twitter, and I got it for free.
All because he wanted an edit button or something?
He wants to unlock its potential, so he said.
Oh, great. NFTs coming to Twitter.
Probably.
I think it's...
You have to buy one NFT to have a Twitter account.
Did you see the NFT thing today? Like the Bored Ape thing got hacked and like $13 billion worth of NFTs were stolen.
Oh, what? No way. Something you can
screenshot?
Something got hacked?
Yeah.
That's digital? No way. It's like not that ever happens ever. It's the first time in history that something's been hacked. Cold hard cash, baby. Can't hack that.
I don't know if I really have an opinion about the Twitter news.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like that's...
I feel like there's so many everybody has an opinion on Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And I'm just over here I guess I'm glad he inspired people to start going to space again.
Yeah.
But now that NASA's doing it again, I don't care about SpaceX. I don't care if that dude William Shatner is his name goes to space. I want Artemis to start.
Yeah.
I care about Perseverance on Mars. Let's get to the good stuff. Shut up, Elon. I don't care. For not having an opinion, that was very opinionated, right?
It was, no. I just can't even fathom being able to, that amount of money is so incomprehensible to me that it's just think of how many people's I know that it's not like cash, right? It's not like he's pulling out cash and handing it, and part of it's how stocks and things are valued, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even a fraction of that could still do a lot of good somewhere that's, that needs it. I don't know.
I think Elon's been pretty generous, but still crazy.
I hope...
I feel like there's a lot of medical bills that could have been paid. Student debt. Food.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Clean water.
But, edit button.
Edit button.
Need it.
Blue check marks for everyone. Edit button and no bots.
Just wait till we have to pay a month subscription.
Twitter will be dead to me. I will be off immediately.
Yeah. I don't know.
I will not even support a What the Fanboy Twitter.
I will
We're
say
getting rid of it.
there is something about it if it's as privatized as he wants it to be, and if you don't care about profits, right? Then like you can get away with having like an ad-free version that doesn't cost anything, but then charging for extra features.
They already do that.
Well, but you don't have an ad-free version.
Like Twitter Blue, I guess.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Really know.
Anyways,
Does anybody use it?
I'm sure.
Probably Elon.
He's over there on his iPhone 18 from 5 years out that he got through his time machine. He's like, Twitter Blue is freaking cracked, man. This is so good. The world needs it.
Let's move into some more fun news.
You can also have it for one NFT.
There's one NFT. There's a lot of other news this week. I say a lot. I have a handful of news stories. What do you guys have? Start with one of you.
I have the rumor that's going around about Netflix with ads.
Oh yeah, so
there's a lot with Netflix.
I would say we can talk about Netflix kind of as its own thing, and that is it was revealed in an quarterly earnings call that they lost subscribers for the first time in 10 years, and then they blamed password sharing, and then they
fired people.
Cut a bunch of animation projects because animation, that's where they're spending all of their money, right? Not on these.
That was the dumbest thing. Like they were like, we're gonna
family animation too. It's not like I had made a joke about like the Big Mouth spinoff. It's like no, they're not talking about that. They're talking about like the family friendly content.
Cruciatus Curse Camp.
Crustaceous Camp
Crustaceous. Yeah, man, I guess I got Harry Potter on the No, I got the Cruciatus Curse on mine because Netflix is a torture.
Well, it's more their so it wouldn't be probably that one, but it's their in-house stuff. Camp Crustaceous is still DreamWorks.
Dude, I would watch a Camp Cruciatus show though, where they're like,
everyone's just yelling about Cruciatus Curse at each other.
This is where we train Death Eaters. All the Dumbledore like sends in a spy, and he's like, "I need you to go watch them." Pitch it to Netflix; they'll do it, right?
Not anymore.
Do it as an animated show.
Not anymore.
Oh no.
But yeah, then there's also kind of the rumor floating around Tyler had mentioned, which is there may be a free ad-based, or maybe not free, but
cheaper.
A cheaper ad-based version of Netflix coming. I'm curious, do you guys do any of the other services that offer that? Do you...
My Hulu has ads.
Oh yeah, Hulu. Yes,
you have the Hulu.
I forget about Hulu.
Haven't upgraded to Hulu, but you pay for HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
I got it for free.
Peacock.
I cancel my Cox.
Well, Peacock could probably have the free version.
This is the free version.
There's the free version. Mm-hmm.
But HBO Max does their free version or their cheap version and ad version have everything?
Yeah,
it doesn't have the day and date releases.
I know that's one of the reasons I had the main HBO.
I'm pretty sure
pricing option because I wanted to watch all the day.
I think that
stuff.
was the big upsell there. I could be wrong, but I just always paid for the higher tier there. No, I'm typically not as much of a fan. Although I will say as we get more and more services, I am a little worried about that, and we'll see if I may go back to ads.
I don't mind ads. I think ads are actually pretty good. But you have to do it right. And I kind of mentioned this earlier, and I think Amazon does it right. I mean, you don't really have a choice with Amazon though. They only have their one price option.
Mm-hmm.
But their ads are for Amazon stuff if they play before.
Are they skippable?
Yes, every single one is skippable. So same with HBO.
does that too.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, hey, here's a show that's brand new that you might be interested in.
And this is the way that Netflix needs to do it.
Yeah.
You can have banner ads that are clickable. Totally fine. You can scroll right over it. But if you have to watch like a flow progressive ad before every episode of your show, that's not the right way to do it. And I
don't know. It's worked for Hulu for so long. You get the same 6 ads every show.
But Hulu also is way cheaper than I think what Netflix is going to do it.
Oh yeah, Hulu's like $5.99 or $6.
Yeah, it gets even cheaper when you bundle it.
Yeah, like Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Netflix is a disaster. How long? What's the timeline on Netflix? How long until it goes under?
I'm so nervous that Netflix is just gonna keep going downhill. And like today, I even texted like, how long before they're just like, we're not gonna do any more Dragon Prince stuff. How long is Arcane gonna last? Show was not cheap to make.
No.
Not that all animation is cheap, it's actually like just as expensive. But like, I don't know, it just keeps going into this same narrative that people don't care about animation. It's getting really frustrating. Like, that was a big thing at the Oscars.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think Netflix will probably hang around in some form for a while.
Why don't they just scrap that whole game idea?
That's step one. Step two.
Because it's potential new audience. That's why they won't scrap it, unfortunately.
Want to know how you can get an improved audience? By making good stuff. And a lot of it. One, this is what they have been doing and what they should do. What they have been doing is spending $200 to $250 million on movie stars. Mm-hmm. They got The Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot for whatever that movie was that I'm never going to watch.
Yeah, Red Notice.
And they're going to spend more on the sequel because, you got to up their pay or whatever.
And they got to add another person.
Yeah, they got to add in...
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh dang it. It's definitely who they're going to add.
Need some young blood.
Or you can split up that money and you can make 5 to 10 movies that are like the quality of like Roma, The Power of Dog. Things that people will go, wow, this is really good. And there's lots of things like this that I can watch. And so you stick around instead of, here's the one thing that I came to watch and now I'm done.
Yeah.
Retention is more important than anything. What's going on?
Lepke in the chat said, if Netflix really wants to survive, they should do something revolutionary. Maybe they should start shipping physical copies to people or something.
So this is step 3. You're 100% right. Physical media and toys. Make some toys. Every studio does it. Yeah, step 4 is releasing in theaters.
And they have done it with Stranger Things. But yeah.
And they did it with Hill House 1 and
Bly Manor.
Bly Manor.
The problem is Netflix has such a hostile. I say hostile. I just mean they kill projects so quickly that they are not willing to invest money into things like merchandise unless they know it's already been a hit. So they'll wait till after season 1, and if it's a hit, then they'll commit to doing merchandise.
Immediate, like they need that instant gratification.
But
stuff.
Yeah, I absolutely think
Elon Musk to buy Netflix too.
I think they need to. Well,
buy everything or Xbox. Xbox can buy it.
I think Netflix needs to slow down. They don't want to. And their shareholders won't want them to. But they need to have money in the bank. The only reason HBO / Warner Brothers, Disney, Apple can get away with
Amazon. They
have reserve, right? They make money outside of what those are doing,
outside of the
and
streamers.
that way they're not completely reliant on that income, those subscriber numbers, to actually exist. Netflix is. So Netflix needs to either change their business model, or they need to, they need to change their business model no matter what. They either need to reshape how they do things with like physical copies, or probably it's probably an and or.
They need to diversify their revenue.
Yeah.
I feel like Netflix's mindset right now is that the more money we put into this one thing, the better it's going to be. Like, I think of The Irishman, honestly, is something that comes to mind. Something that most people did like, I hated.
Yeah.
It's like, that movie costs over $100 million. And I'm just sitting here going, was that worth it to get these like 90-year-old actors to play their 30-year-old self? Could have just gotten some new and up-and-comer, paid them $200,000, whatever that minimum price they always get paid is. This is a lot, but they always complain about that it's not enough.
Raga in the comments, Raga Shingo says, so Netflix needs to ship a smartphone.
Oh gosh!
Remember when
buy this phone, get Netflix for free?
It is interesting. You think of like though where app stores are at with all the battles of like that they go with revenue splits.
Yeah.
And it's like that's almost down to a per device type of thing, right? Because the only app store that's on the iPhone is that app store. The only app store that's on the Google phones are the Google Play Store, and like so you're kind of locked into that. Now some of the recent rulings have helped with that, but you're not wrong in the terms of like, if they want a better chunk, they need to think of the pie. Netflix. If Netflix wants to not drop 30% of a subscription to whatever, they need to think about how they're getting that revenue. Obviously, not a smartphone, but
I don't know how this would work. But like Luke mentioned, they need to get things to theaters. I know how that would work.
Yeah.
What if they like? I don't know how this would work, but what if they could get some of their content on other services? Like
licensing has been a thing forever, so it's like certainly not
money from other services for people, the number of views they get on other people's products, right? Like
all the Harry Potter movies have been on Peacock.
Right. The industry is just so hostile
and HBO is just like, thank you for the cash. Like, Netflix needs to do some of that.
Yeah.
It's an easy way. What if they did, I don't know, let's get super weird. What if they did a deal with, like, Sony? We're like, hey, if you have PS Plus, you can watch this show for free this month from Netflix. And Netflix just takes money from Sony for doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just little things like that.
That's pretty much what Paramount did.
Right.
Lots of people signed up to watch Halo mainly because of that.
Well, like, the Game Pass perks.
Yeah.
What if they signed a deal with Xbox to do that? Like, there's way more ways they could be making money. Instead, they're like this whole quantity over quality thing. They just keep dumping shows into their service. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, we have so much stuff. It's like, yeah, but not all good. Like, I'm not going to sit down and watch it. It's not worth the crazy prices you charge.
The combo of content and I think at this point the last price increase have really shown them that they're at that precipice. The only way they're going to get more subscribers is if they probably lower the price or offer a lower subscription tier with ads.
Because then you get ad money.
And then you get additional revenue. So yeah, no, they're not in a easy place right now, but it is kind of the grave they've dug for themselves.
Netflix is like end of their career Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Like, Netflix is, like, Eli Manning was still serviceable. Mm-hmm. Netflix is still serviceable, but the game has just kind of passed them by at this point. Like, HBO, Disney, Prime, like, everybody's passed them by. They're doing it just...
Everybody else's...
that idea and made it way better.
Everybody else's sub count is going up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people, too, are just kind of realizing that there's a lot of streamers out there, and they're all putting better stuff out.
Yeah. Well, as we talk about Apple, I feel like almost every other week, like, everything they're putting out there is such good quality.
Mm-hmm.
They're not putting out a ton of stuff, but what they put out is really good.
Did you see that their Magic Johnson documentary
It dropped this
weekend?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you didn't mention it, so I figured you hadn't watched it. But I wanted to make sure you knew because
it's a little more friendly to him than Winning Time is.
I think he's a producer on it, but I think it's called They Call Me Magic or something like that. Yeah.
I think too. Yeah. I think Netflix was at the top because they were the only one, and they got really used to it. Mm-hmm. And now they're stuck in their old ways. But then also, they lost The Office. They lost all the Marvel stuff. They lost Friends. Those were like all their biggest stuff. Yeah. All they have is Stranger Things.
They lost Parks and Rec.
Which is huge. But
but
that's gonna sustain for 1 month, a 1 month subscription. Everybody's gonna watch it, and a lot of people are gonna share the password. They're gonna crack down on that all they want.
It costs $30 million per episode, though.
Yeah, that's too much.
So it's like, yes, they have this thing, but like, no matter how many subs they get, they're not going to make any of that money back.
Yeah. Like, how are they going to rise to? Like, I mean, yes, I'm still subscribed.
For now.
But like, me just subscribing every month doesn't raise the count. It's just plateaued.
Right.
And then Stranger Things comes out, it goes up. The people finish, goes back down.
Well, so over in the chat, Ragashingo just made a similar thing where a comment. He said maybe Netflix should stop dropping their entire shows on day one. String
Step 5
subscribers along for 3 months instead of 3 days.
Yep. And I would be totally okay with it because it has become stressful now to binge watch an entire show in a weekend.
Well, we do it every year with Stranger Things.
And it's stressful.
It's stressful. I'm sleepy, man. Even when I was finishing episode 2 of Outer Range, I was like, this is so good, but I can't keep my eyes open. I was so tired. It was like 12:30. But I think I think password sharing is kind of a whole nother thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, though, you need to try and stop it. You just need to manage it. I think the best version of it is Voodoo. I can go into my settings and I can take people's things away. Like, you have my Voodoo account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You get
if I don't want you to have it anymore, I can delete
a certain amount of tokens that you can give to friends or family, and then
there's been times where you'll text me and be like, "Hey, I'm taking you off the Voodoo for right now because I'm giving it to somebody else for a little."
Yeah.
And then you'll put me back on it. So Superman.
Yep. Well, we spent some time on Netflix. Let's move on.
Get it together, Netflix, please. You used to be so great, and now you just piss me off like every day.
Speaking of a streaming service that shut down,
Quibi.
Only after 1 month, CNN Plus.
Oh yeah, Quibi lasted a lot longer than 1 month. CNN Plus?
Yeah, CNN
I haven't even heard of it.
Was a thing for a very short amount of time, and then the Discovery Warner Brothers merger happened, and they were like, no. So I would expect. I think we're starting to get to the point where we're going to start seeing consolidation. And that's not like HBO and Disney or Discovery Plus are going to necessarily become one giant thing, but some of these, I don't know, HGTV Plus or whatever kind of sub streaming service categories are, I think they're going to start being wrapped into the, hey, we're gonna make what you subscribe to now an even better deal so that you stay with us, because we're seeing people, jump off ship, and we need to keep you here. So rather than trying to get you to subscribe to something else that we know you're not going to do, we're just going to try and keep you.
Mm-hmm.
So, or things will just shut down, and all of a sudden that content won't be produced anymore. I think that's, with CNN Plus, obviously a news thing. So that makes more sense that they're just shuttering it, because there's already, CNN's huge.
CNN went to Shutter?
It's interesting, like a news thing, because your target audience is generally older.
Yeah.
And like, read the room or not, older people aren't tech savvy.
What?
Turn on their TV versus logging into a smart TV or a app.
Yeah.
They're probably just gonna turn on the channel 13. I don't know. It's
I don't know. I don't have cable.
Yeah, anyways. What else we got?
Next news story.
I got 2 Ubisoft stories.
Ooh,
Okay.
yes.
Ubisoft announces Team Battle Arena game titled Project Q. In other news,
I wonder what logo is going to be in front of that game.
Ubisoft is reportedly being marked for acquisition. Tom Clancy's X-Defiant is no longer Tom Clancy's X-Defiant. They dropped the Tom Clancy thing.
Really?
Yeah, they did that last week.
Interesting.
What's X-Defiant?
It was the Tom Clancy first-person shooter game that they were going to make, like, free-to-play multiplayer. They dropped the Tom Clancy from called X-Defiant.
That good or bad?
Probably a good thing.
Means Tom Clancy family was like,
I think they got a lot of backlash and they just kind of backed off of it.
oh.
But no, Ubisoft is reportedly being marked for acquisition. Nobody really knows.
There's been some high-profile.
Twitter's gonna buy it. Elon Musk will be like, Twitter's making
much like with Activision. There's been kind of some like high-profile management issues over at Ubisoft, and in addition, sales of their stuff hasn't been as great lately. COVID changed how they make games, so everything has gotten delayed. And when Ubisoft's not small, but they're not gigantic either. I don't think they can afford quite as many misses. They can't afford as many delays as some of the other publishers can. So it doesn't surprise me that they're the ones that are in this position.
So according to Bloomberg, there's some private equity firms that are looking into this. Blackstone Inc., not the people who make the grills, and then KKR and Co.
have
been eyeing it.
Sorry, I went in a strange direction there. I got really nervous.
Did you think it was?
I was like, I don't want them making anything ever.
Yeah, this is interesting. I guess in 2018, Vivendi tried to buy it. And they kind of kept it off. Whether they'll do that again or not is kind of unknown.
It sounds like it may be one of those the tea leaves are being read, and
I think the people who are watching this is probably Tencent.
Yeah.
I think they were in on the Activision thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. The other two, obviously, the big ones. I don't think Xbox will do it.
It'll probably be Netflix. Oh my
god. Well, then they can make that Assassin's Creed show.
Well, at least hopefully it'll be a show, not a movie.
And with this too, speaking of Assassin's Creed, apparently that's way further behind than they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not a thing.
I actually think if
let it take some time before it comes out.
If there was one of the console makers between PlayStation and Xbox who I think it makes more strategic decision for, I think PlayStation would make a good strategic purchase for PlayStation.
Yes.
Solid.
Great backlog.
Yeah, good backlog.
Boost your Project Spartacus thing.
You've got...
Sorry.
You've got their...
I am Spartacus. I did that joke last week, I think.
But, yeah, no, it's like we said, acquisitions are kind of the thing right now. And they're getting bigger and bigger. I'm getting to the point where I'm a little scared in the gaming world with as few as publishers we're getting. Obviously, there's still lots out there, but... Uh-oh, who's? Dana? Oh. Tyler, talk.
Do I sound weird? It looks a little low. A little low. A little low.
Is your mic rotated correctly?
Yeah. Got my little butt chin thing.
Okay. Well, while Tyler talks...
It's low. Raga says it's low.
While Luke talks on an appropriate level, his next news story, I'll turn up Tyler. I'll bump him up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Dana.
Here, I can move on to another story that makes me sad. Like, even though I should be happy, but I'm just sad. The Voltron live action movie rights went to Amazon, and I don't Like, that really isn't the part that bumps me out. It's just that it's even being made. I think it's the part that bumps me out. Especially with whoever that's it's a writer-director from Red Notice.
Yep. But maybe he's like a super Voltron fan and he'll do right by it.
Well, you know what?
I'm trying to give you something to be happy about.
I don't know if I trust super fans to make the movies. I feel like the one out of all we've gotten that have been good were the Batman.
Yeah, that was what I was going to use to back up my claim.
And then everybody else is a super fan, and it's like, that was so bad or so divisive.
Are really low.
Did you break me?
Try to get low.
Maybe I broke Tyler's mic.
Did you break my mic?
I don't know.
You monster!
Red Notice. What is this? Rawson Marshall Thurber. What the? Let's look, see what else he's made. I've looked this up a lot of times and I always forget because it's always so forgettable.
This is always dangerous. Apologize to everyone for me.
Easy A? Did he direct? Oh, he's Quiznos guy. Oh, he directed Skyscraper. I liked that movie. In like a funny way. He made Dodgeball. It doesn't really give me much hope for a Voltron movie. Oh, hold on. Look at that. He's the one who's directing The Division.
It's in pre-production, though. Who is this?
This is the Red Notice guy and the Voltron guy.
Oh, no.
We both have something to be really upset about.
Can we cry together?
Yes.
Man, that's the worst news we could have found today.
We're the Millers. Listen, like these.
We're the Millers is actually good.
We're the Millers. Dodgeball was good. I liked Skyscraper. You liked Central Intelligence, didn't you?
I did.
The problem is it's Voltron. It's a mecha anime.
Raga posted a short clip. Raga, is it called The End? If it's called The End, we'll watch it after the show. Am I still low, by the way? Oh, yeah, it is The End. Okay, we'll watch it after the show.
The End?
The End. It's a live-action short of Voltron that's apparently really good.
By him?
I don't know who it's by. Alex Albrecht.
Oh. I was like, is it by him and it's really good? Oh, up my faith.
It's 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Sweet. I'm actually super hyped to watch.
Well, I apologize for Tyler's audio. I don't know 100% what's going on. Part of it may be that he's looking at Luke and the mic's on his other side of his face.
That's ridiculous.
I just want to say, the tweet went out correctly this time. What happened? Brett's on the floor doing mic stuff.
Hey, do I sound better, team? People? Dana? Raga?
Just be consistent. We've done this for 247 episodes.
What do you mean?
We are never consistent.
So if you're at a consistent distance from the mic...
Well, I don't really want to, so you can suck it, Brett. That's how I feel.
I love you too.
No, no, that's not what I said at all. I said, suck it, Brett.
He couldn't hear you because your mic cut out.
Suck it, Brett.
So another live-action movie that's getting made that I'm not thrilled about, but you guys are.
We're just not thrilled about anything in our news
Fast
section.
X got its title revealed.
Unfortunately, the title's wrong.
It's not fasten your seatbelts. I'm sorry.
Even the tweet said fasten.
I know. It's so just...
It's like, it's the Fast and Furious franchise. Can we lean into it? Like, it's ridiculous and it's dumb. We love it. Brett hates it because he's a hater.
Haters gonna hate. That's what I do.
Scorsese loves it, though. Tell Tyrese that.
Oh,
that's going to be like my running joke for the whole year, I think.
That's a good one to go with, though. I like
he's
it.
a part of, I'm definitely going to make a mention.
The saddest news of this week. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse films both delayed a year, basically. So this
June
was
2nd to 2023 now.
Yeah.
Gonna be competing with the Flash movie.
Wow, that's no contest. I'm seeing Spider-Verse.
Me too.
Well, Flash, though, will be delayed another year because he'll still be filming
The reshoots,
for the third time.
Yeah.
The third shot. The third chance at the movie.
I really need to think of somebody that they're gonna recast with him. Who's Ready Player One dude? Who's that? Get him.
Ty Sheridan?
Yeah, bring him in. He can replace him.
That's probably true.
I think the name I saw
He does
was
deserve another chance of being a superhero.
Sam Claflin. I keep seeing that name thrown around.
Oh yeah.
He's from the Hunger Games movies.
Yeah.
And other things.
Yeah, he had the dumbest death ever. That last one. Spoilers.
This dude.
Yeah. No, he'd be fine. We got confirmation that a new Star Wars game
Oh, this is so awesome.
is coming from
Amy Hennig,
who
the creator
was
of Uncharted.
and
Let's freaking go.
was working on another Star Wars game that got scrapped.
Yeah. For some
This
reason.
is a single player action adventure game, is kind of what it's been described loosely as. 1313's not going to happen.
Finish it.
No, Don, it was a Boba Fett game. We don't need it.
Give us the Red Dead.
Save that concept for like a show. The 1313 concept. I want to see that. I love that idea, but I just think
I would take a Coruscant show.
Yeah, just give it a little miniseries or something.
I'll take
Doesn't need to be just one season. I don't know.
Nice little limited Star Wars series.
Yep. We also got details on Halo Infinite's Season 2.
More details?
Yeah. We got the length of the season, which is going to be another...
Oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Yeah. It's going to be another 6-month season.
Dude, I feel bad for Halo fans.
And... yeah.
I feel like they just keep getting boom, here's the game, and it's not nearly completed. Here's just the campaign. Here's a really long season. Here's a cookbook.
I 100%...
Here's a battle royale.
I approve and appreciate how much effort they're putting into the work-life balance of their employees.
They're gonna do that out of a job, though.
Yeah.
I think
At this point, it's not the employees. There's management issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this is necessarily a Joe Staten thing. Joe Staten came in and
saved
this game, but whoever is the middlemen / women are clearly not prepared for Halo to be a live game and to make it in that kind of a...
No studio ever has been. And I find it really interesting that it's the same thing every time. Even Bungie and Destiny.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice with Bungie. But didn't work for Anthem. Outriders even outright said, they're we're not even going to do that. We don't have the capacity to do that. And feel like the Division has struggled with it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's because people can consume content faster than content can be created.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a hard battle. It's an uphill battle the minute you say, games as a service.
Yep.
You've already started walking up a hill.
Yep. Yeah. So, it's...
That cookbook, though.
Is there really a Halo cookbook?
There is a Halo cookbook.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know what they cook in the Halo universe.
That's what I was going to say. What do they make?
There's a Destiny cookbook, too.
Listen, if I'm buying a cookbook, it's the Skyrim cookbook.
Or a Harry Potter
Someone
one.
stole... Yes.
The big
stole
things,
your sweet roll?
The big things were, it's a longer season. It goes from May to November. Online co-op is... They're aiming for end of August.
Aiming for
end of August.
What a freaking joke.
And
so
Forge, the Forge beta.
Yeah, they're doing a beta.
They're doing a beta for Forge is scheduled for September.
Remember when they launched that game almost a year ago?
But
when all that stuff will be out?
It's only been out for 5 months.
I know when it all comes out, when Forge is out.
When it's the complete package.
When everything is supposed to be out.
A year after. No, you're right.
think it's really funny. I saw somebody say this. COD, Battlefield, and Halo all rushed so they could compete with each other, all unfinished, and then none of them were good.
Yeah.
And not good. Halo was considered good, but unfinished,
not complete, not a complete package.
And they're just like, what was the point of that?
I listen to an Xbox podcast almost weekly, and they talk about Halo a lot. And one of the things Gary Whitta says all the time is it's amazing how, kind of in that same vein, how low the bar was, that because Halo came out and worked, people were like, this is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
Yeah.
Because COD was another COD, and Battlefield 2042 is complete dog water.
Dude, Battlefield's a bad way.
Yeah.
I kind of want to play it again now.
I might be... Oh, I might get shot for this one. I may be back in on COD this year, though.
Because of Gojira?
No, because it's the sequel to the 2019 one, which I think was the best Call of Duty.
Modern Warfare 2.
I think that makes sense.
That was the best Call of Duty in a very long time, and it's that team again.
You're not going to be in hot water for that.
Same engine.
No. I think that's the important
thing. Vanguard used it too.
Oh, it did?
It didn't feel right with those guns, because I played the
different. It's a different
beta.
developer, so even if it's the same engine, it's going to have its own
This one will be the same developer who did the Modern Warfare one from 2019. I might be back in on COD.
Dang, I can't wait to hear that, this is the new best COD in a long time, and then 2 months later everybody be like, it's the same COD.
Well, it will be the same.
Dude, I love ragging on COD, mainly because I used to play it so much.
Luke, you mentioned a bit earlier Outriders.
They released more stuff.
Game's
trash.
They announced a DLC.
I'm mean today.
World Slayer is
cool title.
Yeah,
I guess.
So it's kind of a. I mean, I think it's found a little bit of a niche, but it's definitely not going to be a competitor to.
It's not
the big.
It's not a Destiny killer. So
I love that every game has to be labeled that.
I think
you know what the Destiny killer was?
Bungie?
Destiny.
Oh. It's Elden Ring.
Ooh.
Tell me wrong.
Different game, but yeah.
You might be on to
everybody kept thinking it's a live service thing. Live service game is going to kill Bungie because why? Because they're going to do something better? No, every single one comes out has no idea what they're doing. I'm stealing all of this from a TikTok I saw, by the way. I'm not this smart. I need to say that. Elden Ring came out and it was finished and it had no microtransactions. It was just a game.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go play it.
Yeah.
So, Destiny isn't dead. But, for the time being, most people were playing Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird. I actually texted Lepke the other day, and I was like, why is nobody talking about Destiny right now? Well, that probably answers the question. I don't feel like I'm hearing about Destiny nearly as much as I usually do.
Most people are they're kind of close to the end of a season, too. So it's kind of in the lull again. And we're back into the season where everybody complains about Destiny.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
we haven't done the raid yet.
The Baker Mayfield thing.
Yeah.
We're here on the Baker Mayfield.
We're great. And we start seeing all the things that we don't like. And then they release more stuff that is not that great. I guess the Master raid is completely useless.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeesh.
The weapons are pretty much the same. No enhanced perks, you can't craft them. So people are like, why would we do this harder version of this for an emblem or something? It's there's...
Because it's fun, Luke.
The challenge.
The game's
But
fun.
People are it's so hard and it's just not enjoyable.
Yeah, it's not fun. If it's not fun, you're not getting the awesome loot.
Yeah.
Sometimes if something's not fun and the reward is shiny enough, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nope, that makes sense.
But the new season will come out and everybody will be like, oh my gosh, Sola 3.0 is game changing.
Did you guys have any other news stories?
I got one more.
No, I'm done.
All right, Tyler, hit us.
PlayStation, Xbox want to put ads in free games.
That's right.
Kind of a thing.
And this is in-game ads. So this isn't like a...
Is it going to be like Truman Show? Where you're playing the game Like, so like your is this just for free games?
Free to play games. So this is going to be
like Apex, and
Fortnite, and I guess probably Halo.
Halo.
The multiplayer aspect of
the
it.
The Division free play game they're doing.
So you're like your character's going to go down, and they're going to be like, "Wow, I could have really captured that death really good on my NVIDIA capture card."
There was. Do you
Drink Mountain Dew, get a code at double XP.
Last year, there was the whole kerfluffle around Xbox raising their Xbox Live prices.
I did?
And then they were like, oh, well, actually, no, we won't raise the prices, and we're going to make free-to-play games actually free-to-play. You don't need Xbox Live Gold to play those. That's revenue they're trying to make up for. I'm not saying it's right or they should, but that was their just when they talked to the money counters, the bean counters at Microsoft, they were like, we need to PR save face here. So here's what we're going to say, and then we'll look at how do we make money off of these games later.
What if this is kind of the same thing? And they're just like, we're going to keep making these dumb announcements so we can, like, go back on.
I mean, it's possible. Look.
And then Sony will be like, no, we're putting
There's some, like, way smarter people than me out there. So that could be their strategy.
It's kind of the same thing, though, as, like, with Netflix and Amazon and HBO. You can't have it impede on what you're trying to enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm playing the game...
Luke can't talk and look at a...
There was reading involved too.
Exactly.
I sent this to you guys so you can watch it later. It's pretty funny.
But no, like if I'm playing the game and like an ad, like it pauses automatically, an ad pops up.
Out,
done.
Out.
Get out of here. That's horrible. But like if it's just like on the menu or something, and you can scroll over and click it, like I'll be a little more.
The way I thought of it is like
nice.
In Apex, like they have the banners all over the map. What if there's ads on those?
I don't look at the banners anyways.
Exactly. You could scan it with Crypto's drone.
Yeah. When you aim at the scorecard, there'll be the three people and then a Mountain Dew banner. Even if
they put like little banners on the bottom of the screen or something.
This kill cam was sponsored by TurboTax.
By the NRA.
Oh no!
If I'm paying for here's what I don't want. If I'm paying for Xbox Live Gold, or I know they don't really have if I'm paying for Xbox Live, I don't want to see that though.
Yeah.
If I'm a true free player and I'm not paying anything to play this game,
sure.
I understand wanting to monetize that or feeling the need to monetize that. Supporting those servers costs money. I get it. But if I'm paying to be part of your service, I expect it to be of a certain quality, and I don't want banners popping up. You may need to adjust your prices a little bit, but
would you rather the price go up, or would you rather have a few ads here and there?
Depends on how they're implemented. 100% depends on how they're implemented.
They should just make like after you win a game of Apex, your character holds a Mountain Dew bottle. Kind of like UFC fighters, like they'll hold like an empty Monster can after a fight. They don't drink that stuff, but they're holding an empty one. They're like, Monster. Like they can just do that.
Can you imagine if they drank that like before they went out there?
Oh,
how quick would the heart explode?
I was gonna say their heart would explode.
But like, how long would it take? Like, would it just be like one punch and then just?
No, I think it'd be at least a round or two. You're gonna get your heart rate up even higher than it already is first. Get your blood pressure through the roof.
Oh my gosh. So just drink one of those in game and I'm like sweating and my pulse is just like pounding in my brain. You're just like...
You're like smelling colors as you're playing. You're like...
Blue. Smelling colors.
Maybe they could...
That's funny.
That's what they can use like on PlayStation, the little audio that comes out of your out of your controller.
Oh, I didn't even talk about that with Deathloop.
They could just subtly have like an ad playing.
That would annoy the crap out of me. Dude, when you're playing Deathloop and the other assassin talks to you, they talk to you through a radio in the game, but it plays through your controller. It's freaking awesome. Kind of annoying sometimes, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it scares me.
And it's
like, hey, I'm like, yeah.
It's loud, too, that speaker.
It's super loud.
Let's
we gotta
move on to our Northman review. This is probably going to be pretty quick because we don't want to go into spoilers. Tyler hasn't seen it, so it'll just be Luke and I talking. Luke, what is your Northman tweet impression?
This is a fantastic movie that I just don't know who to recommend to.
Me.
I know you though, like like we went and saw The Lighthouse together.
We did.
And it's like that Hamlet and Vikings. It's just like there's so much that's like almost it's indie filmmaking with a huge budget.
It's the biggest budget indie film you'll ever see.
Yeah.
And it looks great, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. But you're right, like
if you can make it through the first 20 minutes of the movie, you'll be able to watch the whole thing. I think the first 20 minutes is just like so jarring to get used to because there's just like there's weird rituals and songs and conversations going on.
I think the problem though is that like after that first 20 minutes, you're the treat at the carrot on the end of the stick is that awesome freaking action scene.
Yeah.
And the movie has been marketed around action scenes. And there's only one other action scene. Maybe two.
They're sprinkled throughout, but they're not like action scenes.
There's quick bouts of action, which are good, but I don't think the general audience will
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Dude, but the one like the big action set piece that they show you, it's the big part of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of the most beautiful, well-made action set pieces I've seen in like a long time.
It is great. It's great.
It's so well shot. It's so easy to follow. And then it's just so brutal.
Yeah.
I was like I was a little sad because it's like one of the best parts of the movie and it's like 20 minutes in. And I was like, oh man, I kind of want more of that. I just kind of knew I wasn't going to get more of that.
Yeah.
But I think like the parts that are hard to recommend are the fact that it's like Shakespearean language. I guess it's how it is. Old Englishish, old Vikingish.
I know, I watched A Tragedy of Macbeth, so this was easy for me.
But like people, I think they see a Viking movie and they're going to be like, oh, I like that God of War game. I like Thor. I saw the Vikings TV show and it's not that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eggers really likes to be accurate to the time.
He's way more, it feels super authentic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's a detriment to the film, but it may certainly turn off some people.
Yeah. Like people won't even watch Parasite because it's in Korean.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is kind of the same thing. Yes, it's in English, but it's almost a different language because they're speaking from the year 85.
You know who I think would like this movie is Lepke.
Wouldn't?
Would.
Lepke
loves that Viking culture stuff.
I mean, I think the more you know about Viking culture, the more you'll get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Bro. It's a pretty simple storyline, but there's so much emotion, and Skarsgård does a fantastic job of carrying this movie. He was
so good.
Not that everyone else is bad, but
everybody except one person I thought was just fantastic. The kid. I didn't like the kid.
The
young Skarsgård. I don't know his name.
Oh, really?
I didn't think he was that good.
I thought he was fine.
I guess he was probably good, but everybody else is just like so much better.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I mean, he's not even in it that much.
No.
So
20 minutes.
It wasn't really that big of a deal. Maybe.
Then he glows up.
He gets all muscly and sweaty.
What did you think about the plot?
It was a plot that I have seen, and I was 100% behind it the entire time.
Yeah.
There's also some like bits in the story revolving around the vengeance, the revenge story that I thought were so cool, and they're not that like crazy. But just like it mainly has to deal with the sword.
Yeah.
It's just like little things that like keep going throughout that don't change the story at all. And I just thought it was really cool. I wish I could say I feel like it's a spoiler though.
This movie really embraces and accepts that Nordic lore as fact.
It's a myth tale.
It is part of the fabric of what the story is. So, you know, if they're talking about like having a vision about something, like
it happened.
It happened.
It's like watching.
It's not just in your head, I believe it because I'm religious, or, you know, this is my tradition. It is like, no, this is happening.
It's like watching the Odyssey or like Jason and the Argonauts. Like the Greek gods, they're there, they're doing their thing, they're pretty crazy, they're whack, they might be naked or something. Like,
yeah.
I appreciated that too. It's really cool to like, not that I'd want to live in the world, but to view the world was
because it
awesome.
is a pretty brutal worldview.
Yeah, I was a little uncomfortable sometimes.
There were a number of moments where Eggers leans into, and I'm so happy that I don't know who was the main distributor. Was it Lionsgate? Focus Features. Leaned into letting him be as psychedelic and crazy as he is in a movie with as big of a budget as this is. This is a $70 to $90 million movie, which is huge for
Focus Features
for what it is. So yeah, no, and especially Skarsgård, but even Ethan Hawke, Dafoe, some of the other characters, just they really lean into the chaos and the emotion, and you can just tell they're having fun.
Even like just leaning into the spectacle of the gods.
Yeah.
I thought was super cool and visually was awesome, like with the tree and just like I don't remember any of the names of like even the characters, like I can't pronounce any.
Yeah.
Except for Fjolnir, because his name is said so much.
So many times.
But like when the god is on screen or a Valkyrie's on screen, like I just felt like I was in this whole different world. And it was awesome. Immersive. I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Immersive. Someone we haven't mentioned yet. We've thrown out a lot of names. Anya Taylor-Joy.
Freaking good, man.
She brings it.
It's like she's a good actress.
She is.
She's been in like 7 good things in the past year.
She's definitely one of my like. If I see her in something, I'm more likely to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She has a fairly.
It's not a huge role.
Not a huge role,
but it's important.
Yeah, and important to. What is Skarsgård's?
Hold on, I got it up.
Character name.
Wait, I don't have it up.
Starts with an E or an A?
It's an A.
It's a
It's
vowel.
like Amalith. Hold on, I got it right. Gosh dang it, freaking IMDb, quit doing pop-ups. Amleth.
Amleth?
Amleth.
AMLETH.
So Hamlet with the H at the end.
She really affects. She's kind of the catalyst for his character arc. So she's really important, and she does a good job of just kind of being there and doing that role.
I thought you were gonna say of being important. She does a good job of being important. It's like, well, okay,
she kind of exists, and she's. On one hand, she is a very typical love interest, but on the other hand, she acts with such subtlety and grace that I think it goes beyond just being the love interest.
Mm-hmm. And somebody else who I think is just like super commanding, especially not being in a lot, was Ethan Hawke.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been nice to get more of him
with him,
but man, with what he had, he was so good.
Yep. Yeah. What did you think about, I don't know, say cinematography? Because this is Eggers' cinematographer that he kind of shoots all of his movies with. It has a very different feel from like The Lighthouse. But
mainly not being 4:3 black and white.
Also, it's a different kind of tale, right? Like
yeah.
It's not an epic, but at the same time, it kind of is.
It's not a claustrophobic horror movie. It's a Viking myth
revenge tale.
Yeah. I think the cinematography was like 98% immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a small complaint with like the other fight scene. Like you have the first one that's just like, this is incredible. I bet this took like 4 years to figure out how to get this all down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the other big one, and I feel like it was hidden behind smoke and ash and silhouettes, and I was like, I wanted to be able to see that a little better, and I think there's something else, because I don't know what else I can say.
They set that anticipation for that one up so high.
Yeah.
When it's kind of first teased, because this movie, again, we talk about gods and religion and prophecy, and so like some of this stuff is like he knows, where he's gonna exact his revenge at, and we know because of the language of film where that's gonna be, because they show us right off the bat. So there's this expectation that I think is set up, and then after you get that fight scene, and the fight scene that's at the end of the first act or the beginning of the second act,
the raid,
and some of the smaller skirmishes, I think it kind of felt like, oh, we kind of ran out of money and we're gonna, it's kind of a cool set piece, but like we're gonna hide it behind smoke and mirrors.
I kind of have a different theory though. I feel like the studio might have gotten a little nervous because there's nudity in the scene.
Oh yeah, well that's possible. It's a rated R movie, but even then, like,
I think they were limits. Like, we might need to cover this up a little bit, which is a shame because I think it's a freaking brilliant idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like it got hidden a little too much.
Yeah.
But even still, it's still a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's very emotional, and earned.
Yeah.
Everything in the movie really felt earned.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Soundtrack?
Incredible. It was I was like, dang, this Batman soundtrack is really good. I wonder if anything can beat it. Oh, like 2 weeks later or something, Northman comes out and it's like, so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And we'll talk, I know we got a Fanbox question about soundtracks that I'm actually really excited to talk about. So,
do you have any other thoughts? We don't need to drag this on if we're happy giving it a review or a rating.
Yep, score, performances, action, visuals were my 4 pros that I have bulleted down. So, what do you give it as a rating?
I'm gonna give it a fanboy worthy. I don't think it quite makes it up to a booyah, but it's high. It's a high fanboy worthy for me.
I agree. It's really high. I think the niche part of it, and it being like so indie film inspired almost, might lower it a little bit, but I really think that a lot of people should give it a chance.
The thing that you walked out of the theater and you said to me, and it's just been resonating with me a lot, and it makes me think I'll enjoy it even more as I digest it and rewatch it, is that you said, this is what I thought The Green Knight would be.
Yes.
Ooh.
So yeah, I was super disappointed with The Green Knight because I felt like I could only see half the movie. And one of the things I loved about this was I could see 99% of the movie. There's like still stuff in darkness, but it wasn't filmed at night with a camera from 1994.
Yeah.
Like this movie's so well lit. We talked about this last week. Lighting is so important. It's so important. It should be an integral step into blocking a scene.
Yeah.
Like, where are we putting our light? Well, there's a big fire here, so we're going to use that. I hope directors start taking that into account instead of just going, especially like in the big blockbusters, like, oh, we'll just CG the light in.
Yeah. Yeah, but so to me, the more I think about this, the more I feel like it's like, what if The Green Knight was a little more mainstream? What if The Green Knight was a little more entertaining, right? Like, it has a little more of a narrative through line, and that's I've kind of come around on The Green Knight. I gave it a pretty poor review when I think we reviewed it, but I quite enjoy that movie now.
Want to update it?
Update it? Oh, fanboy worthy now.
Okay, cool.
Easy.
I think that's what I gave it.
I think I gave it a Matthew McConaughey.
I was Matthew McConaughey, I'm pretty sure.
I would bump it up to fanboy, and I think this out of the gate earns its fanboy worthy very easily.
I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah,
it's good.
You guys got a question about it?
Oh yeah, over in the chat, Nick asks, "How is it compared to the Vikings TV show?"
I haven't watched the Vikings TV show, so I don't know. But from what I've heard, it's much more historically correct in how Vikings are like portrayed. Is from what I've gathered. I don't know if that's true. Like one of the things I hear some people say is like, in all the things they go, "Hey, we're Vikings," and how like Vikings didn't call themselves Vikings.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I've not watched the Viking show either, so I can't.
It's been in my watch list for a good 6 years.
Terribly on it. What I will say is don't get too hung up on Vikings in terms of like. It has Nordic mythology in it, but he's not really a Viking. It's
not a Viking. We're going to go raid people the entire movie type of movie. It's a small movie.
There's one raid scene where he is essentially a kind of an adopted Viking. He's become a Viking, but it's way more personal than that.
The majority of this movie takes place on a farm.
Yeah. In Iceland, so it's beautiful, of course.
Oh, take me there. I'd go. Let's go.
Go in a minute.
But yeah, it's good stuff. Check it out.
Yep. Yeah, definitely recommend it.
I feel like, too, like, if you could take the dialogue out of this movie, just give me, like, soundtrack and visuals, I would, like, still be able to give it a fanboy worthy and follow the story.
You could still figure out what's going on. 100%. 100%. That would be really interesting.
Cool
I kind of want to watch that. I want to, yeah.
Somebody tweeted at Eggers.
All right, well, we have some tweets that came to us today and an email that came earlier. Some Fanbox questions. So let's hit the Fanbox real quick and then we'll get out of here. JT asks over on Twitter, Fanbox, this is a two-part question. Do you prefer original scores or licensed music used in film and why? And then the second part is, would you rather the sound... Well, maybe we should answer that first part first.
Original score.
Original score or licensed music?
Original score.
Original score. But I don't think we should discredit people, directors, creators that are able to use licensed music well. Yeah, and specifically like James Gunn and Edgar Wright are so good at working those into their story.
They frame their movie around these pieces of music.
Right. Like they write the songs into the script.
Yeah.
And then like, man, there's always like those movies where they're just like, what's the common pop song that people are listening to now? Throw it in here for a transition phase.
Yeah.
It means nothing. That type of stuff I really can't stand.
Agreed. Yeah, so overall, original score.
But original score, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Second part of his question is, would you rather the sound designers work hand-in-hand with the composers, or would you rather the composer work on their music on their terms? To clarify, he has a specific film in mind, Lord of the Rings and Dune. While Dune has themes in it, I find that to be more sound design focused. Oh, Dunes is more sound design focused, maybe, and Lord of the Rings is more bombastic themes to revolve around the environment, the characters, and not just ambient noise.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he says, I'm aware music is a collaborative effort. Not saying that there's not communication between those, but should the composer always write with the sound design in mind or not? Maybe the boilerplate question there. The answer is yes.
Yeah, I feel like movie making, music making, it's such a collaborative effort. I think everything should be made with the other teams kind of in the back of their minds.
And this is the
That's how good movies.
This is the job of there's a couple people on a film whose job this is. First off, it's the director's job. Ultimately, the buck stops with the director, but good producers will also have good input on this, and they should be, specifically the director, but then sometimes also producers should be working with both of those teams and making sure they're communicating to achieve a unified vision.
Right.
Luke?
I think, yes. And so much goes into it. I think it depends the type of movie you're making. The Northman should not have themes. Like, you just don't need it. It should be like a director and the composer working together to figure out mood. Because that's like the biggest thing. That's what music does. You change the music into like to something totally different, and it can turn a horror into like some weird sexual comedy.
Well, we see that all the time. People like recut trailers to be
like Mary Poppins is a horror movie.
Yeah. It's
or like you'll like get Texas Chainsaw Massacre and you put the and because they're looking at each other, it looks like they're like having sexual tension or something.
Right.
Like music can change that a lot. But like people that come to mind, the two that come to mind are people like Michael Giacchino and Hans Zimmer, who I feel like are the two big ones right now.
Yeah.
Giacchino, I feel like, is a theme guy. He works in old themes a lot of times into like his superhero themes. He's also working on a lot of superhero movies, and the mood and the emotion that you get from the music is when you hear the theme again.
Yeah.
It's not the first time, it's when you hear it again. In Star Wars, like, you hear the Force theme for the first time, you're like, wow, that's great. You hear it in The Force Awakens, and you're like, yeah, I remember that. And it conveys like a different emotion.
Right.
Then you have sound design, and I think this is a lot more Hans Zimmer, where he works in a bat flap into his Dark Knight soundtrack. Or in Dunkirk, he has the ticking clock. He did it again in like Interstellar. And then in Dune, he even like they made new sounds for the soundtrack, and the throat singing guy.
Yeah.
Like, I think they work so differently. But then it comes down to the movie. A superhero movie will need the themes.
Yeah.
And like a sci-fi and horror need soundscape. Because the mood and the motion and the tension is so it's drawn from that, and it can just change everything.
Yeah. Yeah, there's also some really interesting examples of, like, with Giacchino and his work on something like Rogue One.
Yeah.
Where that movie, he came in and he composed that in 6 weeks.
Jeez.
Because...
Did he replace somebody?
I think so. Because he
insane.
came in and replaced someone, and he didn't necessarily have that luxury of working with the sound design from the whole
And that is my least favorite Star Wars soundtrack.
But like, it happens, but it is pretty rare, and most of the time you do have a composer in mind on, you know, who's working on things as you're filming, so that you know.
And I think that's evidenced by the guys like Nolan, who's always worked with Zimmer, you know, and now working with Göransson, two things in a row. Or directors have their composers they prefer.
Yep.
I think Reeves is Giacchino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just that's evidence to further prove what you guys are saying.
And I feel like even Reeves and Nolan are both like theme and soundscape guys.
Yeah.
Where like Tenet has no theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a rushed,
And that's how it should be.
what's the word I'm looking for? A sense of
Urgency?
I need to listen to Dune again. Does like Paul have a theme?
I think the Atreides family has like a theme, like on their home planet, but for the most part, I think it's all pretty much.
Because especially when you get into like sequels and stuff, themes can be really, like you said, themes can be really powerful.
Yeah.
So.
The only real theme I can think of from Dune is the Bene Gesserit, which happens quite a bit.
It's just kind of the main
That
thing.
might be even Paul's theme, like as he's becoming the Quasitarach.
Music's interesting. Good questions, JT.
I think music is like I know I've been talking about lighting,
Mm-hmm.
but like music is probably the most underrated importance of a movie.
Every topic that we talk about that revolves around the movie on that day is going to be the most important thing.
But like, okay, a movie isn't well lit.
Okay, but like a movie isn't well edited.
You can still get the story.
Sure.
But like, this goes into licensed music. Bohemian Rhapsody is one of the worst edited movies ever. What if they just didn't use Queen music? It would have been absolute trash.
They use 50 Cent music.
Yeah. Like the same thing though is with like musical scores. If you're making some sci-fi thing, or
You
like
can't do the thing from horror movies.
yeah, if you're making a comedy and it's or if you're making a horror movie and it's just or it's like the Nice Guys 70 jazz riffs throughout the entire things with like big fat bass lines, like it sounds stupid and it ruins it. It takes you out immediately. Whereas, the scene was a little dark and I couldn't really see it much. Still got the story.
Is story the most important? That's a different question.
Yeah, I would say
that could be a fun discussion.
It would be a fun discussion.
We'll save that for another day.
Story and character.
Raga Shingo over on Twitter asked us a question. Obviously,
The sound of quiet place.
Tyler,
Sorry.
repeat that. No, that you're fine. Just repeat that so everyone can
Game
hear.
Master in the chat says, I raise you Sound of Metal or A Quiet Place. Speaking of the use of sound.
I haven't seen The Sound of Metal. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But like
You've
for
seen
A
Coda.
Quiet Place, I think the difference is being that sound design and usage as opposed to like music. Like because both those movies still have music.
Yeah.
Whereas like there'll be some very quiet scenes in A Quiet Place, but they'll even take out music, which can be very important sometimes because you have to convey like we can't make noise and we want to make sure that we hear every twig and leaf snap on the ground. But like there's still music in A Quiet Place.
Those are both movies where like those two departments have to be very in step with each other for sure.
Yep. Okay, Raga Shingo's question over on Twitter is, obviously animation is the superior form of cinema, seeing that everything in the from background to each change in the character's expression is 100% handcrafted rather than left to chance. Given that, does What the Fanboy plan on seeing any of the 3 anime movies coming out in June?
What are they?
They are,
Are any of them Studio Ghibli movies?
I'm not.
I want to see the bad guys.
Put it in the question.
No, well, they're. I don't know what. Review Starlight, the movie.
Lightyear?
I don't know. He did some pictures. I thought he had actually. So the short answer is they're probably not on the top of our list, but since you've challenged me, now I will try.
I will try.
Finger guns.
I want to do it.
Boom pow. What's up, doggy?
So sorry, I'm trying to see here if I did have a link here with I thought he had actually linked the 3 in there, but I guess not. So Raga, you should message me separately.
Lightyear? That the only one on IMDb is Lightyear.
Just separately message me which ones they are, because I don't know based on these 2 screenshots. They look cool.
Jurassic World Dominion. It's pretty much an animated movie.
It's a pretty much animated movie.
This is true.
So yes, we will do our best to see
at least one of them.
Okay, one last question, and then we'll get out of here. From our friend Patrick.
It's because I was ragging on Netflix so long.
It's true.
This one should be pretty quick. If you were Patrick has lots of fun, like, would you rather or how would you react in a scenario. If you were a normal civilian living in a city like New York, would you rather be in the Marvel or DC universe?
You're in New York?
So like Metropolis or Gotham.
Oh. I think I'd rather live in...
Well, I guess those are both DC. So New York or Metropolis / Gotham.
I'd rather...
Not Gotham.
Yeah, not Gotham.
I would pick Metropolis probably because everything happens in New York and Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And Gotham is the absolute butthole of anywhere in the world to live.
I'm more likely going to get saved by Superman than anyone else in either of the other two cities, right?
Exactly.
Like, I have the highest chance of survival in Metropolis.
Correct.
Might have Supergirl there, too.
Yeah.
And
Indeed.
Crypto.
Kind of sounds like there's a lot there, just like in Marvel in New York.
Listen, some horrible things could happen in Metropolis, obviously, but I trust Superman a little bit more to save an entire city. You know, he's a god among men. He can pretty much do anything depending on which comic you're reading.
Yeah, it's true.
And he's friends with the Flash, who can run fast enough to catch some of us.
I'm pretending Flash has something going on this entire time.
I still think Superman's the best bet.
Oh, here we go. Okay, sorry. We all agree Metropolis, right?
Yeah.
I did find the tweets that Rega sent. He just sent them not in the reply, but direct link. Like I said, review Starlight, the movie. And then the two Macross Frontier movies.
I don't know any of those.
So
those are.
We will see what we can do.
Not even IMDb knew what they were.
I'll see if they're coming to our local theaters. I'm sure they are, but
Regal does a good job at getting.
They do some. They're
at least for a weekend.
I was gonna say it's not always real available.
It's like a Fathom event.
But yeah,
sometimes.
But yep. We'll see. All right.
Look at that hoodie.
That brings us to the end of this week's episode. That was a big one.
Dude, it's been so long since we had a long episode.
So thank you all for hanging out with us over in the chat or over on Twitch, in the chat, talking to us all night long. We love that. If you want to be a part of the show next week, 8 p.m. Central Time, over at twitch.tv/whatthefanboy. We be chatting. And yeah, make sure you head over to the website and check it out. You can subscribe to get notified if you're like not into social media or you're dropping Twitter because Elon bought it. You can get notified via email when new episodes drop. So we appreciate you all for watching and listening, and we'll see you next week.